Okay, got a new ship to test out. This is that new Vulcan ship that came out a little bit ago. This is April 16th of 2026. So, pretty cool ship. I really liked it in the show Enterprise. I mean, it was always piloted by jerks, but it was still a really cool looking ship. I love the round warp ring that the Vulcan ships of this time period all had in Enterprise. Very cool. Very much like. It's kind of a smallish ship, but not too small. So, it is a science ship, so it's got the regular stuff with like a secondary deflector, and not being as strong, it's got this sensor analysis on here. It does have an option to change it into tactical mode, which allows you to have better tactical bridge officer abilities, and it disables that sensor ability on there. So, I like doing that. So, looks like it changes a little bit of the way it looks too. Yeah, it makes these thingies red. Okay, let's take a look at this ship. This is the Suurok Intel Science Destroyer. I have this uploaded with a whole bunch of weapons that I really like right now. I figured that they kind of went along with the Romulan Vulcan type of thing. The first one, of course, is from the Romulan Reputation System. This is the experimental Romulan Plasma Beam Array. I've also got the Romulan Hyperplasma Torpedo Launcher. Those are both upgraded to V15 or level 15. I have the Elachi weapon set here. This is the Heavy Crescent Wave Cannon. That goes along with this right here, which is the Elachi Subspace Torpedo Launcher, and this console right here, which is the Bio-Neural Infusion Circuits. So, one of the cool things that I really like about this one is that it gives you this here, which is called Haywire. These are those things flying around here, right here, you see. Those are Haywire charges that give me a chance to reflect damage back to the enemy in the form of a disruptor pulse, which is fun. So that's those right there. Then I also have, flying around here somewhere, I guess not. I thought I had something flying around. Okay. There's supposed to be something flying around from this Ultimate Modified Swarm Processor in my consoles that I like. Alright, my next weapon here is the long-range destabilized Tetrion Heavy Cannon. This is one of my favorite guns in the game because it shoots 12 kilometers rather than 10 kilometers, which everything else does. Yeah, it's really cool. So, definitely, and I've got it upgraded a bunch, so it does a whole bunch of damage too. So along with that, I put on the whole set. I figured, what the heck. I added this tethered quantum mine launcher, which drags mines behind the ship, kind of like in Galaxy Quest, which is fun. Then that goes along with this, which is the Threat Analysis Matrix, which allows me to shoot my sniper blast. First it adds a sniper blast, and then allows it to recharge faster. But that only works on Hirogen ships. What am I reading here? Oh yeah, sniper blast. So it allows you to do that. 12 kilometers from the target. Very nice. I don't know where that is. I think I might have lost it in my setup over here. It doesn't really matter. I'm not seeing it. I probably went past it. Oh, there it is. Tetrion Sniper. There we go. Okay. Oops. Wrong button. Okay. So that's the 4 weapons. The only real rare weapon that I have that I didn't mention is the omnidirectional Pavin proton beam array. This is always just a good all-around weapon. Does proton damage. Of course, I've got this thing all the way upgraded to 1000%, level 15, triple damage, all sorts of stuff. This does 1200 proton damage, and pretty good. Okay, so for my shields, warp, and deflector, I have the stuff from the Discovery Reputation. For my impulse engine, I add the prevailing innervated impulse engines. And the reason I do is because when I use certain firing modes on my bridge officers, it increases my flight speed and turn rate, so I can either get into a situation to shoot the enemy or I can get out. It's pretty cool. And then, of course, for my secondary deflector, I just threw in the Solon A1 in there. It's just the one I've got. I don't think I have anything else. So anyway, that's that. This ship, because it has a combat mode, because it's a science destroyer, has one of the coolest things that I think is that it can switch between using or not using its experimental weapon. I figured, because it is a Vulcan ship, I might as well add a Vulcan weapon, which is the gold-type psionic resonator, which is one of the more powerful experimental weapons in the game, and it's really cool looking to it. It's almost like a little hand that goes around and grabs the enemy ships and damages them with psionic damage. So, pretty cool. For my devices, I've got the subspace field modulator, which of course reduces enemy damage by increasing damage resistance. I have the temporal negotiator, which recharges bridge officer abilities faster when I use it, and then the red matter capacitor, which increases all power levels for a little while. As far as consoles, the one that came with this is this one here. This is called Swift Delivery. It allows you to go fast, it'll speed you up a little bit, and then when it expires, like a little cone comes out the front and supposed to slow down enemies' flight speed, maneuverability, and accuracy. I've tried it a couple of times. I don't know if I'm using it wrong, but it seems like it's worthless. But I have it on here anyway because we're trying it out. I figured I would go with kind of like a circular explosion with this build here. This is the dispersing nanoprobe assimilator, which does a round thing around the ship, which damages the enemy, and also if they die, they get turned into assimilated ships. I have the directed dilithium resonance destabilizer, which is basically the weaponized version of the burn from the Discovery show. Pretty cool. It kind of does a round thingy around it with damage. This one is a new one from a couple months ago. Very awesome. This console is very cool. It also has a thing that goes around it, like a big explosion around it, shockwave type of thing. This one is called You Are Dismissed, and it does a ton of proton damage to enemies around you, as well as pushing them back. And then there's a chance that it turns on like another kind of a circular thing, or a spherical thing around the ship that also damages enemies. It's pretty cool. I already mentioned this console, which is the bioneural infusion circuits. This one is the 0-point energy conduit, which goes along with the Romulan set. This allows me to use the Romulan plasma hyperflux, which basically is like an beam overload, but specifically for this Romulan plasma beam array, which is nice. Okay, so that's all those. Oh, this one's a good one too. This is one of my favorite consoles in the game. It's called the retrofitted assimilator. You click it, and it shoots out two like torpedoes that have nanites in them. And if the enemy dies after they've been hit with that, they turn into an assimilated ship that fights for you as well. It's a lot of fun. Then, of course, I've got the subspace fracture tunneling field, which basically takes your ship and transports it to the enemy, so you can make sure you get them. It gives temporary hit points, which is really nice, and it also, which is the best thing, recharges your universal console abilities. So with this on here, it allows you to use the other consoles faster. This is another one that's really good. This is the Temporal Disorder. Basically, it creates 4 copies of your ship that attack the enemy. Very cool. And then this one I just got. I have not gotten the whole set yet, but I'm working on it. This auto-deploys a ultimate drone to assist. It's not very powerful, but it does a little bit of damage, and I enjoy it flying around like those charges I was talking about, those thingies. So it's fun. I think that's everything. All right, so because the test map has been broken for a long time on the Tribble server, which I'm very upset about. I really wish that thing would work. I really enjoy testing out stuff on that map. But it's been broken for a really long time. So what I'm doing is I'm just running the first patrol on the list, which is rescue some Borg, some good Borg, and fight against some Voth. So here goes nothing. So like I said, the circular explosions around there do a lot of damage, and it's a lot of fun. So yeah, there you go. That's that circular thing afterwards, and it just runs for a little while. But see, I have assimilated all of these ships. They're all going to follow me and help me out on the next section. I think I got to get there fast, otherwise they'll explode. So I'm not going to do the full mission. I'm just going to do a couple of these, 2 of these encounters, and then we'll wrap it up. We'll do the next video. Come on. There we go. Basically, I just turn everything on. So these ships do pretty darn well, I think. Of course, I've got all sorts of really good weapons on here. So yeah, see? So because I got him with that other thing, it assimilated that ship, and now it's going to follow me around and help me out. So, alright. So overall, I really like the consoles and stuff that I have on there, and I love the way this thing looks. Very cool looking. Very cool looking. So, I don't know if it's worth the price, but I was able to get it with a free coupon, which is totally fun, and I really liked the thing from the show. And so, well, the ship's not amazing, and the console's basically useless. But it's a lot of fun to have a specific ship that you liked from the show, and this one I really liked from Enterprise. So, and also I got to call it VSS Pointy, which is really funny, because they're Vulcans and Romulans. Anywho, that's all for this one. We'll see you on the next one. Enjoy.